PLTR, Palantir Technologies, potentially some breaking news any moment. I like this stock. I am bullish on this stock. However, Alex Karp is a very, very excitable character. And what I mean by that is he reminds me of Elon Musk. He draws a lot of like a fanboy type hysteria to the stock. And maybe it deserves it. It's a great company, very exciting, but he's very, very emotional and very passionate, and it drives him forward. He reminds me a lot of Elon Musk, but consequently, the stock is always overbought. But we've got inclusion in the S&P 500, which could be announced at any moment. This is September the 6th at recording this. It could be announced at any moment. I've got some information here for you, which is why the stock is up at the moment when most of this sector is down. Is it already priced in? Well, I've seen a few companies recently in the last 3 years join the S&P, and I've seen them all dip afterwards because it's very much buy the rumor, sell the news situation. It's a great business. However, it always gets overbought, and with such a great inclusion to the S&P, it's great for me because I own the S&P. I'd love to see Palantir part of the S&P. I think it would be a great inclusion, and I'm very happy. Of course, one comes in, one gets booted out. I wonder who that is. But anyway, it's a bit like the Premier League, right, in football in England. One in, one out. Anyway, so Palantir is great, but let me show you the numbers and the information right now. But it's one of those stocks that gets overbought. I would like to say, though, as we've covered every earnings for the last 2 years for Palantir, they are without doubt the best presentation of earnings you will ever see. Very switched on company, very, very professional. When they do their earnings, they have everyone, including the investors, on camera from Bank of America, Wells Fargo. They make sure they're all on camera. They call in, they present themselves in a really great way. Alex Karp puts on a really good show, and you might say, well, what does that matter compared to others like we saw the other night with Broadcom, sounding like they were on the moon with like a string telephone, children's kids set, whatever. It is important to present yourself professionally. Someone on the call last night said they do that to save on bandwidth and blah, blah, blah. I don't know if they were joking or not, but no. There's no reason why you can't be on camera, look good, sound good. At the end of the day, you're conveying your image to the world and asking people to invest in you. Just like I try to make myself look and sound the best that I can, I think companies should at least do that. So, and Palantir and Alex, so good credit to them, always do a great earnings. But anyway, let's look at this news. Have a look. Palantir stock and its possible S&P inclusion. Now, this news was out yesterday, and the news of them joining the S&P would be today. So it's imminent, okay? Let's have a look. Palantir Technologies' recent financials show strong growth. Now, remember, to be in the S&P, you have to have certain criteria to meet. Now, just because you meet it does not mean it's an automatic inclusion. They've got to make way. Someone's got to go out and someone's got to come in to improve the level of the S&P. Just because you hit the mark doesn't mean you are in. With Q2 revenue growth up 27% year on year and its significant gain in both US commercial and government segments, despite impressive growth and profitability improvements, Palantir remains overvalued. There you go. It's too expensive. People buy ahead of the time because they're expecting it to reach the S&P. They're also buying Alex Karp as well. They're buying the sexiness of it all, that it's really cool and great and all the rest of it. But at the end of the day, would you pay me $500 for a can of Coke? I use that analogy a lot. No, because you can buy it everywhere else for $1. It's only worth $1, and it only provides you with so much thirst quenching. Other than that, it's only worth $1, right? You might pay $2 if it's a hot sunny day on the beach and you go, all right then, okay, I'm on holiday, I'll pay $2. But you wouldn't pay $500. That's an idea, a comparison to this. The stock is just too expensive. which limits the long-term returns for investors. It will grow into its price, no doubt, but you could be sitting around for years before it grows into its price, and then you can be relaxed about it and not worry about it dipping at all. Potential inclusion, potential is the key word, in the S&P 500 could prove a short-term bullish catalyst. Now, I don't believe that. I believe we've already had the bullish catalyst because people are expecting it to be included. So that's why, despite other stocks in the sector being sold off, this one is holding up. Makes perfect sense, right? I think it's already been priced in. So don't get too excited by that. I think it's already occurred, and you might want to just hold off a little bit. My experience is we have seen this happen time and time again. When a stock comes into the S&P, it just dips. And one that is so trendy and memey like this, and I don't mean that disrespectfully, but you understand what I'm saying, could easily sell off. Anyway, even with optimistic assumptions, discounted cash flow modeling indicates Palantir is highly overvalued. So my hold rating is again reiterated. I absolutely agree. It's a hold, not a buy, not a sell. I agree. So let's have a look. This is the person who did the analysis on this. I'm just sharing the views. Let me see if there's any more that I want to cover. That's not new. We've covered this before. Nothing there new, really. Okay, so let me go to the valuation of Palantir. And if we look at the valuation here, as you can see, on Seeking Alpha, and by the way, if you want access to my pro version of Seeking Alpha, you can. If you want to have it without my referral, you'll pay the full price and you won't get a trial. With me, you get the $25 off and you get the free trial. And I'll post all those links below the video as well once this goes out. But it's a hold. It's not a buy now. It's already overbought, expecting S&P inclusion, and then it's more likely to sell off. So hold all across the board. Already in, you should already own it. No one's saying buy. Valuation, as you can see, it's an F. It's a terrible valuation. It's way too expensive. Growth, A. Fantastic. It's growing great. Profitability, A-. I mean, you've only got an A+, so it's pretty good. Momentum, A+, up from A-, and revisions up from B- to now B+. So it's all looking good. The stock is great. No issue at all. We like the business. It's just the price you're paying for it. Now, if you're a long-term investor and you just want to be in, then fine. Buy it, leave it 5 years. You're more likely to be very well returned. But for now, it's a little bit too expensive. So will Palantir make their way into the S&P? It does say, when I Googled it, that we are expecting a decision today, September the 6th. As of yet, there's no information. And as I'm making this live, I will look once again on their page. Is there any mention of it? And it doesn't look like it because the stock price will move anyway. No, there is no mention of it at all. We can see, and this is worth showing you, how Robinhood investors, retail investors, just make the mistakes all of the time. You can see Robinhood investors have just been buying this in mass, okay? This is just recently. Robinhood investors, retail investors are going, yes, we want this. No, you should have bought back here. But anyway, what about hedge funds? They're doing the opposite. Follow the money. You may have heard the phrase, follow the money. Hedge funds, they bought it a long while ago. And now they're getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Whereas those on Robinhood who think they know best, sat on the toilet playing with their phone, they think, no, I'm buying it now. But back here would have been better. Always follow the money. Insiders bought it more back here and now getting less and less. And in fact, a bit of trimming going off. So it just shows you, doesn't it? Do you follow the insiders who work at the company? Do you follow the hedge funds with all the money and all the power? Or do you follow the retail investor sat on the toilet playing on their phone? You make your decision. I prefer to talk to hedge funders. I prefer to talk to the CEOs. And I prefer... Wow, it's raining here. Wow, it's coming down like a torrent. Can anyone hear that? That is some serious rain. Wow, someone's turned the hose pipe on. Anyway, that's great. We were in Texas. We could do with the rain. But there you go. So anyway, there's my opinion on Palantir. Great business, best presentation, spot on company, great technology, very innovative, extremely profitable, extremely well run, well presented, the whole thing, except retail investors just keep buying too much of it when the insiders and the hedge funders act a bit more appropriately. Don't get too excited. It will probably join the S&P, hopefully announced today. But when it does, we're more than likely going to get a drop because people will sell it to buy it back because it will be good news. But just because you're on the S&P, I mean, there's a lot of rubbishy companies. We've got Ford on the S&P and it doesn't go anywhere. All right. So just because they're on the S&P doesn't mean it's going to be boom time. Doesn't mean that at all. Click above my head for all the links down below in the description for all my alpha spread seeking alpha links. The big events coming up next are the US election debate. I'm going to cover it live like a mainstream news channel. I can't believe I'm doing it. Amazing. Where's this show coming 3 years? 3 years ago, I had 3 people sitting watching me. And if I said I was going to cover the US election, Leah would have gone, why? Why don't you leave that to Fox or CNN or ABC, or why are you doing it? Now I'm doing it. And down there is the FOMC report. Join us for that as well. All right, keep your eye out for Palantir. If I get any news, I'll be back with an update. Until then, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.